Hey YouTube, Derek here with another awesome Wind Whirler video. Doing another unboxing. We got some Star Wars figures. Return of Star Wars here on the Wind Whirler channel. Some pretty badass ladies here. So we have Princess Leia Organa and Mara Jade from Legends Continuity. I've only recently been introduced to the Mara Jade character. I actually started reading The Heir to the Empire after watching Prism's What If the Sequel Trilogy Was Awesome series. Gotta check it out if you haven't already seen it. I've promoted it a ton on my channel, and I've also done stop motion shorts based on some of the scenes in that. So I just really love it. For me, it's kind of like my preferred sequel trilogy. It's really cool, and Mara Jade makes an appearance in it. A little bit more of an aged Mara Jade, but here we have her in her prime. Basically from her introduction in Heir to the Empire, which is Timothy Zahn's trilogy. Basically one of the, I think the original kind of expanded universe started with Timothy Zahn's trilogy, the Thrawn trilogy, where they introduced that blue guy who has been showing up in new Disney Star Wars. Not as good apparently in the new ones. I haven't really watched Ahsoka, I kind of just avoided it. But I know that in this book he's friggin' awesome. He's like a total mastermind, yeah, hopefully they do get better with that, and they kind of move into a better direction in the actual TV shows and movies. But these books, I mean, that's the amazing thing right now with Marvel and kind of Star Wars sort of in kind of the gutter at the moment. Just take time now and go back and kind of revisit some of the amazing stories that have been told over the last 50 years, 40, 50 years, whatever. For Marvel, it's like 85 years, I think, this year. But Star Wars, you know, there's so many stories that have come out, especially in the Legends Continuity, which is like the basically the original expanded universe that was left to the side once Disney bought it. But now, because they're struggling for ideas, they're kind of going back to Legend Continuity and mining it for all the best ideas, and just sort of taking amazing character arts from stories that were told for these characters and legends, and kind of just copy pasting over their new characters that they've created that are just kind of sort of hollow versions of what had once been told. So, but that being said, I really think these are cool looking figures. We're going to get into them here. I like this box that they're kind of going with. I think this is sort of the comic based box. Look at that, $40 Canadian. That's pretty crazy. I know, but I did trade in some figures to get these, so it wasn't so pricey at the end of the day. But no, this is really cool. I think this Leia costume is actually awesome, and to me it feels very Jedi-like. So I have some ideas for her, and you know, maybe giving her a blue lightsaber. This is what she wears during the Heir to the Empire storylines as well. You know, and just kind of imagine what it would be like with her and basically being Luke's first apprentice, you know, and then Mara's kind of soon after that. Like he helps train her Force abilities, but it's pretty crazy, right? Because like you have all these kind of newer female Star Wars characters that they're trying to push that are kind of, you know, pretty shallow characters, and then you have Princess Leia and Mara Jade, who are very like deep, well-developed characters who are real strong in their own right, but also just, you know, very feminine as well. And they're sort of just I mean, Mara Jade hasn't really gotten any recognition except for these toys, which is like kind of a bummer. That's why I really like Prism's video, because he references kind of the continuity of Heir to the Empire storyline as sort of being loosely based in the timeline, and then also just has her I mean, you know, kind of featured in it a little bit too, which is really cool. So, but that being said, I think we're gonna probably start with her. Let's go get right into this. So I'm gonna pull Princess Leia aside here for now, and we're gonna focus here on Mara Jade. So the box does open up like this. This is kind of lame. I mean, this is when they were trying to go plastic free, which they realized that was kind of a little bit dumb, because I mean the toys themselves is plastic. And anyways, I mean, at the end of the day, like, the window box is probably superior for this kind of stuff, because then you get to see if there's any imperfections on the toy. But we got some more cool art here. Fantastic. She looks so cool. Really thought she was awesome in the Thrawn trilogy so far. I've only read the first book, but she's kind of a badass. And yeah, we got a little bit of a read up here. I mean, if you haven't read the Thrawn trilogy, or you haven't seen Prism's video, you're not familiar with Mara Jade, I recommend just stopping, go get more familiar with her, and jump back into here. But right here we have Mara Jade, because this here is already a little bit of a spoiler if you haven't read those books. But I mean, they're over 20 years old, so I feel like it's fine to kind of go about this. So, Mara Jade was once Emperor Palpatine's hand, his most trusted assassin. 5 years later, and now a successful smuggler, the last thing Mara expected was to stumble upon her former archenemy, Luke Skywalker. Yeah, very cool. Essentially, Luke is the reason that she kind of lost her gig as Palpatine's right hand, sort of a force-sensitive assassin. She didn't really know about this whole Jedi stuff, but she's a pretty cool character, and I like how seamlessly they kind of introduced her into the series, where it's like, well, it makes sense that she's kind of an unknown, because she was a secret assassin for Palpatine that even the regular Empire didn't know about. So she's very cool like that. So I already took a bit of the tape off here, so I'm just going to get this right open. Alright. Whoa, okay. There's the accessories. I'm going to keep those close by. Okay, first impressions. Let's take a look. Alright, so already I'm seeing some new articulation here for the Black Series that I personally haven't been able to get. They've got this amazing torso crunch, as well as the upper torso swivel here. So that gives a ton of movement. I know she's described as sort of being kind of like a gymnastic acrobat sort of body type, which I think they did pretty well here. She's not like overly like femme fatale kind of black cat sort of curvy, but she's sort of more fit, lean, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that's how they describe her in it. I definitely believe that in her creation, Timothy Zahn probably had Mary Jane from Spider-Man, Mary Jane Watson, in mind when creating her, and there's definitely quite a few similarities. I mean, I could even pull out my Mary Jane figure later in this review here, and kind of do like the comparisons for the design, but I still kind of like that. I like that's a little bit of a nod for the comic book fans or anything like that. So I'm actually totally cool with that. And Mara Jade's a pretty cool character, and she's definitely a lot different than Mary Jane personality wise. So this is a very cool figure. She has an awesome silhouette here. I think these little accessories that she comes with, which is her little visor. I know that they did recently announce there's like a Heir to the Empire kind of box set coming out that has a new Mara Jade that actually has this interchangeable cloak that you can put on her head. It just looked really cool, but I just can't really justify myself buying the box set, because for one, I already have an awesome Luke Skywalker from the Mandalorian series. That this is a really amazing figure, and I do like Kaboth. Like, I think he's kind of cool, of a cool villain as well, which I think that's how you say it, Kaboth. I don't know, Sabaoth, that's it. Sabaoth. But I don't know, I just can't I can't justify getting myself 2 more Luke Skywalkers, because I already have like 3 of them. So this is good enough for me. This Mara Jade's great, and I'm pretty happy with it here, just in hand too. Like, it just already, like, I mean, she's able to make poses here because of her really good articulation, and even the arms, like, she can bend a little bit more than just the 90 degrees, which is really, like, if you get these single jointed arms, which Star Wars figures are pretty popular, or pretty normal for, it's nice to at least get that little bit of extra. I mean, it would be good to have double joint. That would be perfect. But I mean, for Marvel Legends, I'm more expecting that kind of stuff. For this, I think I'm okay to have just the single joint, as long as you get that little extra bend to it. They give you good enough to it. So, but she looks freaking badass. Very cool. Let's take a look at some of these accessories. Oh shit, the gun. Okay, perfect. She has a beautiful pink lightsaber. I wonder if I can get closer here. Look at that thing. The hilt there is just shiny. Wow, that's nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's one of the only pink lightsabers. I know that Mace Windu, his is actually purple, so I think hers is a little different. It looks kind of purplish, but I think if you compared her lightsaber next to Mace's, I'm sure you would see the difference there. And then here's her sweet gun, which a little bit reminiscent of Han Solo's, but not quite the same gun, which is cool. It's a little variance on this, but yeah, these are obviously the laser gun designs. You have this kind of pitted hole kind of muzzle thing on it typically. They always sort of have this Luger sort of drop down. I wonder if that's where like the laser cartridges go. Actually, no, thinking about it, is ammo even a thing in Star Wars with laser weapons? Is it just infinite? Because I never really see them reloading or anything. It must be infinite. If you know that, answer that in the comments. Give me the heads up there. But here, I'm going to just pose her quick and I'll jump back. And just in case you're wondering, the lightsaber blade does pop off. You got to be careful with this because this is such a tiny little thing to stick in there, and I did just bend it really the wrong way, so be careful, with this, and you don't stress the plastic. But no, it does fit decently in the hand. I'm trying to get it to kind of rest like this. There we go. Yeah, so it does fit nicely there. The gun goes right into the holster too. It's actually perfect there. One thing I do think is a little bit strange for the continuity though is I remember in the book the holster was described as like a arm mounted holster that basically the gun slipped out of. So I don't know where maybe it's from later on in the series when she does have her lightsaber, but just I know when she's first introduced, like it's an arm mounted holster for it. So I don't know if anyone knows in the comments. I haven't read the other two yet, so maybe this is how she rocks her holster later on in the series. But anyways, it's a little small nitpick, and this looks good anyways. I don't really know how a shoulder mounted or arm mounted holster would even look like. I'm not really familiar with that as much, but now that once you slip the blade on there, see, I've made it a little loose now from fucking bending it, so be careful, gang. Be careful with that. It's just the way they make their hands they're just so hard. It's like such a hard plastic, and like Marvel Legends usually has pretty malleable plastic when it comes to their hand materials, so this is a little bit difficult to get her to properly hold it, but I guess that works. But see, now it's got like this fucking limpness to it because I bent it. That's not cool. Oh, there we go. Okay, you just gotta kind of get it at the right angle. That looks a little better. Yeah, okay. I can live with that. Very cool. Man, that looks pretty cool too. And I like how usually these holster or belt, loops for lightsabers don't work very well, but here works perfectly. Just hangs down there nicely. Has a little bit of a rumble to it there, but yeah, it's pretty rare actually. Usually like they just kind of stick out. They don't really fit in there very well. Usually they don't fit in there very well, but here, perfect. Very deadly. She's a deadly assassin woman. Do not mess with Mara Jade because she will mess you up big time. Like she's an intense woman. That's at least what I got from her so far in the series. In Thrawn, at least. In Prisms, she seems a little bit more compassionate. She's there for Luke in his time of need. Really great ending for that one if you guys haven't already watched it yet. But definitely something to take a quick look at if you haven't seen Prisms. What If sequel trilogy was awesome. It's so cool. All right. But that being said, let's take a look at Leia, and then we'll do some comparisons after that. We'll bring out Luke and the rest of the gang.
Skywalker!
Mara Jade, what are you doing here?
I'm here to kill you.
Oh, come on. I thought we were through this already.
Never let your guard down.
Oh, I get it. You're worried about me.
The Imperial Remnant is not to be underestimated. They have assassins everywhere, Luke. I would hate to have spared your life just for someone else to take it.
That might have been the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
I'm trying, okay? Don't piss me off.
Yes, ma'am. Alrighty, now we have Princess Leia Organa, or Leia Organa Solo, whatever you want to call her. I think this costume she's wearing in the comic is supposed to be set after A New Hope. So in between New Hope and Revenge of the Sith. No, wait, not Revenge of the Sith. Empire Strikes Back. So this is kind of supposed to be set in between there. But actually, even looking at this picture on the back, she's wearing like a jacket or something. So even that's a little different. But I think this will make a pretty good sort of Heir to the Empire, Thrawn trilogy, kind of almost like Jedi training clothing. So here we actually get the nice window. I know this is more of a newer release, I'm pretty sure. So they brought back the windows, which is fucking awesome. Beautiful art on the side here. Princess Leia Organa was one of the greatest leaders of the Rebel Alliance, fearless on the battlefield and dedicated to ending the Empire's tyranny. Yes, she is a legend. A legend, that is for sure. She looks very cool, she looks a little pissed off here in this, which is kind of funny. Yeah, we'll get this open here. I'm gonna see maybe at the top here. Oh, perfect. Oh, there's still a little bit of tape on the side there. Use the big knife, the big one. Get that cut. And she should come right out after that. Put that away before I hurt myself. Oh, look at that. And they even brought back the old clamshell as well. Don't think there's any extra pieces in here. Oh, there's a backing to it too. See, those are nice. See, there's so many little things that they kind of just got rid of, you know? These backings were always nice little display pieces you can use. Okay, so she's here. Cape feels a little, pretty malleable actually. Yeah, I'm gonna get to the painful part, so bear with me here. Oh man, there we go. Put that over there. Oh, first impressions. Okay, let's see. Already I'm seeing some fantastic articulation. Ooh, actually, scratch that. Okay, so this rotation is not the greatest. For one, okay, we can get a good backspin. We can kind of rotate to the side decently. But I literally think there's absolutely no forward movement from this. No forward movement at all. So she cannot crunch forward. That is a bummer. But to be honest, even this is a little bit more movement than some of the other Princess Leias that have come out with more recent years. The arms we at least get a little bit more than 90 degrees, which is good. I like how this harness here isn't glued to her leg. That's actually a gripe I sort of have with Mara Jade here, is her harness on the side is actually sculpted on, and this is just glued to that. So I don't like that at all. I prefer this here, where it's loose, and you kind of move it around as need be, or it's removable if you want it to be, which is good too. I know that the new, there's a Han Solo, like from the sequel trilogy, same deal where it's kind of glued on there. Not crazy about that, but we get a lot of articulation in the head here. Some good head tilt. It's very serious, very grim expression. Her hair, beautiful as always. She always has the most amazing hairstyles. Her and her mother, just like her mother Padme, always had these crazy hairstyles, and that was always kind of a cool thing about Star Wars, is they really went all out for that stuff with these characters. She's got the nice tilt forward hand for shooting guns. That's great. It's also good for holding lightsabers. This hand, oh, gotta break that a little in. Okay, there we go. I think the paint was a little bit gluing in, but I got that to bend. Cape is really nice. I mean, we're used to getting a lot of like hard plastic capes, but here this is nice. I mean, obviously I would have preferred cloth cape, but I mean, that's something that I can myself sort of add on there. For some reason, this kind of looks like burlap. I don't know if she has a burlap cape or not, but at least it gives me kind of an idea if I did want to switch that out with a cloth good of some kind, something like that. The gloves look kind of pretty cool too. I mean, matches her cape, which is nice. She's got sort of the space suit on, all detailed, all kind of like sculpted on there. It looks very cool. And the paint detailing on her face is probably the best. They do really well with the head sculpts in Star Wars and painting. At least in some of the newer stuff, I know the older things, the characters tend to be pretty pale. And she's got the boot rotation, which is very nice. Got the rotation at the ankle, which is a must. And yeah, I mean, shiny belt. I mean, all in all, I actually think this is a great offering for Leia, and a pretty iconic look, I would say, even though it's not as popular as her, her regular princess outfit from the first movie, or the slave Leia, or Boshk. I don't remember. Her assassin character she plays in Jabba's palace, that one's really cool too. But I think from, as far as like Jedi, like Adventures in Between series, is like, this is a great look. And I mean, like I said, this also can double as your Thrawn trilogy look. Leia. She is pregnant in it, but I think in the first book I don't know if she's quite showing yet. So I mean, you still kind of get away with this look. But let's take a look at some of these guns here. I'm going to jump back. Okay, yeah, I mean, this gun looks pretty cool. I mean, at first glance, I kind of thought it might have been a stormtrooper gun, but no, it's a totally unique gun for her. It's got a cool scope on it, and yeah, because she has the great that side wrist articulation, and it makes holding the gun and pointing it forward just so much easier. Well, maybe not holding the gun, it just literally slipped right out. To be honest, the handle on this gun looks a little bit big for her little delicate hands. Of course, she does actually still come with... I'll just get her holding it nicely again. She does still come with the classic Leia kind of pistol with a long barrel on it too. So I think I might have seen this one. I think this might be the same one that we've gotten before. It's a very nice gun, but yeah, I can slip that in here as her secondary weapon, and then she's got this as her main little blaster there that could just probably blow stormtroopers away. Very cool gun. And I'm sure Han would be proud to, be alongside her fighting in the Imperial Remnant there in the early years after the fall of the Empire. But I think that's a cool era. And it's neat to see that we're kind of like those Disney Star Wars shows. We're kind of getting to that era, and we're starting to see some things that are being pulled in from the Thrawn trilogy. I just really hope that going forward they just kind of sharpen get some better writers on these shows that aren't just trying to like get to the next thing, or maybe get a little bit less studio involvement out of it, just because I want to have like some good stories, and I mean, people have their complaints about a lot of those Disney movies that are, or Disney Star Wars stuff that's coming out, and I have parts that I like, but it just seems like every part that I like is always undercut by something else that is just egregiously bad. But I mean, I would love to see some, if they did some new casting, if they did some new casting for like Han, Luke, Leia, and we got to see them kind of back on doing cool stuff, like 5 years after, maybe teaming up with Mando. Like, I hope maybe that's what they're kind of leading up to. And I wouldn't even mind if they brought back that same actor that played young Han Solo, just as long as because the thing is he did a decent job. Like, he's pretty charismatic and whatnot, but it's more just came down to the writing that I found that wasn't super great. Same with Lando, what's his name? Donald Glover as Lando was fucking great, but except for the part where he's in love with a robot, that was pretty much the stupidest fucking thing in the whole series. That robot character was the absolute worst, like Jar Jar level worse. But anyways, I really like this figure, and I think what I'd like to do right now is to maybe do some little swapping with some extra accessories that I have access to here. So give me 1 second, I'll jump right back. Man, this is awesome. The reason I wanted to pick this figure up in the first place was because I saw someone on Instagram do a picture with her holding the blue lightsaber, and I was like, oh man, that's almost like too perfect. Unfortunately, my cat got to this fucking particular lightsaber. It's the one that comes with the original classic Luke Skywalker there on with the Tatooine robes, the cloth robes. So this one got a little messed up, but I do happen to have an extra blue lightsaber just on ice at the moment. The same one as this. It actually comes with a Jedi Rey figure that I have picked up. Basically, I have Sith Rey, which you guys seen in my previous unboxings, and then I also eventually plan to do some of those scenes from Prism's sequel trilogy with where she's a Jedi. You know, I especially like the part where she's fighting Kylo and like Luke Skywalker is like trying to mediate between two of them and keep them from hurting each other. And so that's kind of a scene I'd like to do one day. But yeah, it's really unfortunate about this lightsaber. My cat got to it and shoot at the crap, but it's even a little bent and warped now too, which is unfortunate. But regardless, it still looks cool in her hand. And I just feel like it's so weird that, you know, they don't take advantage of Leia as a Jedi in the new Disney Star Wars, because like it would be really cool to have her and Luke like together. They did that brief little scene, like super brief scene. I think it might have been The Last Jedi or something, or whatever, one of the final ones where they have Luke fighting her and then she like knocks Luke on his ass. Of course, you can never have Luke do anything good or do anything positive in those movies, so she obviously beats him no problem. But I feel like that's probably a big portion why they won't have Luke with Leia as Jedis, because they just can't show I guess a woman getting taught by a man anything at all, because I think all the women in this series in Star Wars need to be already the best at everything, at least in Disney Star Wars. So we just don't end up getting, I don't think we'll end up getting that. But that's what we have, the Legend continuity, and we have a couple scenes in the Thrawn trilogy which are pretty cool, and you get to see like her training, kind of learning to use the lightsaber and stuff, and being inventive with it. And I mean, I think at the end of the day, like, and I know that Prism did a pretty good job at this, like she's you know, making sure that she has her Jedi training so that she can defend herself and whatnot, and she'll use the lightsaber if necessary. But I think for Leia, at the end of the day, her main priorities is running the Republic, right, and like being one of the main senators that keeps everything together. And there's a big emphasis on how her involvement in redeveloping the New Republic is massive. Like she's a huge part of it. And yeah, I mean, they did pretty decently in the original sequel trilogy to like show her as that, but I see her more as like she should be more of a political role, and then they sort of have her more in this general role, which you know, to me it doesn't make as much sense for her to be in this role when she's more like political minded, you know, especially like following in her mother's footsteps as well. She was kind of also a politician, and I mean, to have actually good politicians is, I mean, it's almost unheard of, you know, to actually have a good one who's not in it for themselves, who's evil, who actually wants to have like the betterment of the people. So I mean, to have that depicted in a story would be nice, but you know, she's a general. She's General Leia, and Han, don't worry, Han's just a smuggler again. That's why, yeah, Legends is so good, and that's why Prism's video is also just so amazing, because we actually get to see these characters develop and not just regress, you know, or be forced into roles that just aren't really suited for them, you know. This looks really cool with the lightsaber. I'm so stoked about this. I would definitely be posing this on the shelf together. And the more I pose this, I'm actually the fact that her waist joint doesn't bend forward quite as much isn't actually as hampering as I thought it would be, because you get some great kind of posing too, just with it going side to side like that. This is a very cool figure. They did a fantastic job with her. All right, let's get into some comparisons.
There's no one here.
Sweet. Okay, here's our first comparison. Obviously, we got our two main ladies here unboxed, and there's Luke Skywalker, Jedi Master himself from the Mandalorian series. Definitely my favorite look for him. I like the tunic on there. The awesome dark jet black cape looks so cool. His lightsaber is pretty fantastic as well. Good size to it. And here's his first two apprentices, basically. So this is awesome to have these three together here. You know, we got three lightsabers. It would have been amazing to see more of this, or at least it will be amazing if they do ever, you know, revisit this kind of timeline with these characters. Yeah, to get more of these kind of stories told with Jedi trained Leia and Mara Jade here alongside Luke. It's just cool, very cool to see them because the only the lightsaber stuff is so kind of sparse in the original trilogy, and then the prequels go all out. You get to see so many blades, and then the new one sort of jumps back down to kind of a small amount. You only really see Rey and Kylo, and I guess we do get an awesome, amazing, one of the best scenes in the whole thing with Finn wielding it, trying to defend himself against Kylo and getting a couple good hits in. But no, here it would be cool to see these three kind of side by side battling either Jorah Kaboth or maybe a returned Darth Maul. I don't know. What else is there? I don't know. Rey, yeah, Dark Rey would be cool for them to fight. I don't know, but this looks great. I mean, and she scales pretty well, even though this is kind of a comic based figure. They still made her features kind of look realistic enough. I almost want to say Leia looks like her head is quite big compared to these other ones. I don't know if that's just if I'm just seeing that. Another thing I learned recently, I think Mark Hamill. One of the reasons he looks kind of so different from the first New Hope to later on in the Star Wars trilogy is because he actually had a car accident where he busted his nose and led to him kind of having to do more reconstructed surgery on his face like later on. But just stuff I didn't know about that, but it is kind of shed a little bit of light on like why he does look so quite different. I think people had a lot of those theories, like the Paul McCartney theory where everyone thought he had died and they just like replaced him with someone else who was, just as talented or something. I think there's always those kind of conspiracies around celebrities, when they mysteriously change or disappear. Maybe it's lizard people, who the fuck knows. But this looks great. Let's pull out a couple other figures, do quick comparisons, and then we'll get the hell out of here. All right, and here's a great one with Han and Chewie kind of plugged in here with Leia. I mean, this looks great. Obviously, this is our classic Han in his original look. Got the gloves swapped on here, the gloved hands. I wouldn't mind picking up that, basically it's the Return of the Jedi Han Solo. It comes with the cloth long kind of jacket there from the final fight there on, the hell's that place called? Endor. Yeah, on Endor. So I've been thinking about picking that figure up here. Now that I'm finished that Star Wars Alien crossover, I'm considering maybe selling or trading in those, Episode 4 costume looks and whatnot, and sort of upgrading here. I've already done it to my Luke, and now I've done it to Leia. So I think Han here needs a quick upgrade. This is the original Han Solo that they released back in like Wave 1 or Wave 2 for Black Series. So, the sculpt's good. One thing with him, and I actually did an unboxing with him a long time ago. It was one of my first unboxings, but he's actually got two left feet, or his feet are wrong, basically. They've been put on wrong, so I've always had to deal with that with this Han Solo figure. And he's quite pale, too, in his complexion compared to the newer figures. They do a lot better at painting their flesh colors a little bit more neatly, so... might probably be upgrading that one day, so you don't know if I'll do an unboxing for it. We'll see. I'll kind of keep you guys in the loop on that. But for now, this is a decent Han still. I imagine that these characters have, just like anybody, a wardrobe of clothes, and like the original series kind of takes place. That movie, if you're thinking about timeline wise, I imagine it takes place over the course of I don't know, maybe a day or two, right? Like it's not, they're wearing the same clothes for most of it. And then later in the series, they switch outfits and whatnot. But I imagine they have he could still be wearing the same jacket and outfit look. And you do see him later in the series sort of wearing similar stuff. So you can kind of get away with this still matching anyways. But yeah, this is cool. And this is my faithful Chewbacca. He's also from the earlier series. I haven't really found a need to upgrade him because he's pretty well perfect, and they haven't changed the sculpt that much on these anyways. Would be nice to have more of a... even the face, I just like that. He has the open mouth there. It's nice that I can use Chewbacca, 3PO, and R2 for all the different eras, because they really don't change much from each series, so it is kind of good to have that staple that I don't have to buy 3 or 4 versions of But I don't mind for these. This is the big three, right, from Star Wars. So, you know, if we get Luke here, we'll just throw him in. Like, this is our big three here. And we have 3PO, you know, as our staple as well. And then R2 is here as well. But, no, these all work pretty well. And Mara Jade's now kind of another member of this kind of crew. Put her in with them now. I wouldn't mind if they ever made a Captain Card figure. I might even consider picking that one up too, because I did quite like his character in Thrawn, or in Heir to the Empire. So, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. This has been an awesome unboxing. I do appreciate you stopping by. We got tons of videos in the works. Yeah, like the video if you like the video. Comment, let me know what you guys think of these figures, and if you're wanting to pick them up. Share this with your friends, and if you can, ring that bell if you want instant notifications for my videos, and subscribe if you love this.